Hello, for gaming community and Beyblade community as a whole. We're here for another podcast episode. We have a returning special guest, our man Sniper. It's been so long. We had a part one of this. We actually had a full interview, but it ended up cutting off. We were going to do a part two, but it's just been so long. We just kick off the discussion as normal. I do want to apologize beforehand. I'm on my way up to a school in Virginia, but we haven't done a show in a while, so I wanted to get one off. So if you hear any background noise, I do apologize for that as far as the audio goes. But without further ado, Sniper man, how you been? What you been up to?
I'm all good. Just getting into the flows of going back to work again.
Okay, where you working at now?
So I'm not sure by the time the airing of this podcast it'll be announced, but I'm actually working for Beyblade Premiere.
Oh, you are
Yeah.
solid, man. What if I may ask? What are you doing for 'em? Are
I'm
you going
basically
down to Florida, or are you still gonna be?
no, I'll still be where I am at for the time being. I don't think I'm going down to Florida, but if the winds take me to a different place, that's where I'll be. Um.
Solid?
I basically handling the like customer service side. So, if you send them an email, if you send them a chat on any of their social media platforms, I'll most likely be the person that be answering it.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna just send in complaints for no reason. Let's
Sounds
see how you
sounds about
respond to
right.
it. Yeah, but yeah, man, I'm happy for you, man. I'm hyped for that.
Thank you.
That's definitely what's up. And Mike, how you been? I know I said what's up, but yeah, we do have. Well, Crisis is always going to be up here with me, unless I just do like some special announcements on my own. But how's your day been, man?
Been pretty good. Been pretty good. Just been hanging up a bunch of lights and stuff for Halloween.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got to decorate. I got to do some more decorations myself. My wife's like started on it, but our inside of our house is like decked out, but outside we just have like a couple skeletons, not too much. And I kind of want to. Halloween and Christmas are my two favorite holidays. The only two that I really like celebrate pretty heavy. So I need to step up my outside game for it. Um, but yeah, we'll hop off into X. I know y'all definitely been way more involved than I have. I have a tournament coming up on the 4th of November, so it's gonna be some time out. I haven't been to one since I came up there and I saw y'all last. I know y'all had y'all. How's y'all tournament yesterday go?
That was cool. I won. My
You won or
first.
you came in second? Oh, you
I
came in second
won.
on
I
Kana.
Yeah, I came in
Okay,
second in Lurkana right after that.
solid. Sniper, were you there yesterday?
No. I rarely go down to Maryland, so like it was just as special as the last time you went.
Solid, solid.
He,
Um,
he
what was you
finna
gonna say,
come
Mike?
move here though. Sniper finna come move here though.
You moving
I
to
hope
Maryland?
I hope so. Depending to see how well this position goes.
Mhm.
I would love to move back down to Maryland because I did live there a couple years ago. But to be able to see these guys every weekend and stuff and play Lorcana and Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh, all that good stuff, it'll it'll be
Yeah,
better than me being in Jersey.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, it's always solid to have that community. I talked about it on the live. Having a part of this like lifestyle, it makes it all the more worth it. You
Hmm.
go to see your buddies and stuff like that. Because I don't really hang out. I'm a big introvert, but I do like going to the card shop and my locals here. Like feels good. I go in to a sub for
Yeah, I'm
quite
the
some
same
time. So
way.
yeah, yeah. Let me know too if I start breaking in and out. Just let me know, and I'll like shut up or I'll try to do something with my service. Um,
You did a little bit back there a second ago.
oh, I did. Yeah, yeah. I felt
Yeah.
like I don't know what highway or what road this is. It's just going along the East Coast, going up to
Hmm.
Virginia, like a little bit north of Norfolk. So there's
Hmm.
nothing but trees. It's not 95 or anything like that. I could have took 95. It would have been a little bit longer, and now I probably should that. It's just weird. And but it is what it is. Uh, but yeah, have you done any X lately, or you done any um Beyblade
Uh,
lately? Sniper.
so last month I hosted a tournament, and I'll actually be hosting another one next weekend. So I've been to 4X tournaments now.
Okay.
Um, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like
Eh,
it? Like,
X is.
like, huh?
I was just gonna say X is fun. Just I don't know. It's the competitive part that's getting to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, my bad.
I like it.
I
I like it as well. Um, it's just I see a difference in like maybe communities. Like I was hoping to find, another X tournament somewhere else. Like if we went to like say one further down by year end. Um, because like my first X tournament, I won. It was only 1v1, but still it seemed like it was way too easy to win. And I was like, all right, this is cool. And then I went down to Maryland for like my second X tournament, and I didn't do well at all. It felt like I had never played X before.
yeah,
When I went down to Maryland, and then when I came back up, it hosting my first tournament back, because I was legally binded not to be able to host tournaments. Um,
yeah.
my first tournament hosting back, I watching all the people that I know play X up here in Jersey, and then seeing like this little kid who didn't have anything before he really walked in the door, until he bought some stuff off of me or whatever, come I think second place, and I'm just like this game is it's fun, but it's like is a lot of unpredictability that comes along with X, especially with the whole gear system.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How did Mike? How did your I cut you off before? My bad. But how'd your event go yesterday?
I mean, it was fine. It was just we only had what do we have? 14, 13, 13 people show up. Yeah, because one was six.
Mhm.
We did group round robin. One was six, and one was 7 people. Um, I went. I was in the group of 6 people, 6 rounds, and I went 2-4. Um, and then we made it to the finals, or we made it to top cut, and I played against the
You went
guy
2-4.
Tomoki. I beat. Yeah, I went 2-4, or not 2-4, 4-2. It's whatever. The
I
reverse,
Okay,
was
the
I
better
was
one,
gonna say,
the
I
better
was like,
one.
dude, Mike,
My
you were cheating. How did you go two and
my
four
bad.
and still make it to finals? Who does that? I was
It's
like, oh,
it's
Mike is he's rigging the
it's 4-2.
challenge.
It was 4-2. But
Okay, all right.
and then and then in the semifinals, I played against the guy Tomoki, and I beat him. And then, funny enough, so a really good friend of ours, Kevin, he's a good friend of ours from playing like Dragon Ball Super card game, like that era of time when we played that game.
Mhm.
And he always would show up at the card shop, and we're like, "Bro, when are you gonna play?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to play with toys." And then randomly he just goes, "I'm gonna buy and play today." So he bought literally all he did was buy the triple set, and
Mhm.
he just used that he used that stock the entire day, and I had to play him in finals.
Okay.
that's
Oh, so he
wild.
he made it. He made it to finals.
Yeah, I played him in finals. He got second.
That's crazy.
And I'll be honest, the only reason I even won finals was because he launched and he just went in, spun around, and self-extremed himself.
Oh man, it hurts. He feels
Yeah.
bad, but at the same time, I mean, it does attest to the fact like it's fun, and I've seen like even in bursts there was like sometimes those random things would happen, but not typically, because finals, we had deck format, but also it was the builds. But X is fun. It's just it is very sporadic. You can't really determine what's going to happen. It's not like you are hard counter picking someone else because anything can kind of happen. Not all the time, but more times than not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad you got a new player. It was what it sounded like. Even if that was his only
Yep.
time, maybe just at least he
Oh
has some
no,
base he could pump up again.
he comes to the card shop every Saturday to play some of the other card games that are there. So he'll just play every Saturday now, considering we're doing it every Saturday. So,
Yeah.
and he even said, like, I asked him, I said, so did you have fun? And his response was interesting because he was like, I don't think fun is the word. He was like, but it was intense.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was he was like the way he explained it. He said while playing, it's like you launched a Beyblade and you're watching it, and the moment you see like you get hit and you fly into a wall, even if you don't get KO'd though, it's like you get scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, that's just the Maryland atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I, I think that's pretty universal with the Beyblades because you're watching and you're just hoping for your guy to win, but once it's gone off your launcher, you don't have any control.
Yeah.
So you're just like hoping really for the best, And it's a good feeling if your Bay acts right. It sucks if it doesn't, but it is what it is. Um, yeah. Did you win any other tournament, Sniper? Or you just won your first one?
No, I just won my first one. I went to finals in the last one, the one that I hosted recently, but I didn't last long.
Mm.
Good old single elimination.
Were your other tournaments single bay also, or were they 3v3?
So no, my first tournament was 3v3. And then finals was deck. Um, but I think I'm gonna do this next one 3v3 the whole way through, like Maryland does it. Um,
Okay.
because a lot of kids in the area that I've noticed don't even have enough to really play 3v3. So like I had to use loaner decks and stuff like that. But I don't have enough this next tournament, so hopefully, I gave it some time for kids to be enough to at least have all of the, um, like the random boosters and stuff, so they'll have enough Beyblades to do stuff with.
Mm. Um, I want to ask y'all, like, what's the community like outside of, well, I guess on Discord or on the forums, because I haven't been on Discord.
You
What are they talking about X? Are they happy I'm breaking up?
a
Yeah,
little
you're
bit.
breaking up.
Okay. Did y'all hear my question or no?
Yeah, I did. Like up here in Jersey, like I've got a couple people were like, you know, it's not competitive. I don't think I'm gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna go do this. Like I'll if it gets better, maybe I'll play and stuff like that. But then I had like people who come and play, and then like they start to do a little bit better, and I'm like, oh, I thought you didn't like the game, you weren't enjoying it. What happened? And you're like, oh yeah, I started winning and stuff. I'm like, yeah, so you can't put the game out so early. You gotta give it some time. Like we barely have what 2 3 months of releases. Like we're gonna get a lot more stuff by the time you know the WBO finally gets everything set up for ranked and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, like me and Geetzer talked. It's all for us. It's all about like how the game is being played right now. It's just too random to really feel like it can be competitive.
Right.
So like that's why we're just kind of like we're playing every week still. So it's not like it's in such a bad place that we don't want to play it because we have fun when we play it. It's just we don't want to. We we want to be able to actually show that us practicing something actually benefits us.
Right.
Testing actually means something compared to what else it does right now.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I can understand that. I understand that fully. I yeah, only time will tell. It is still very new. It is like 4 months, 3 months.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's like three or 4 months. So I can't. I want to say it came out in June or July, one of the J months.
Technically
So it's
July.
still
They
Yeah.
had like a little pre-release in June, but it was officially in July.
yeah, July, August, September. We just started October. So yeah, like 3 months. Just yeah, July 15th. So yeah, almost exactly 3 months. Today is the 15th. Um, but yeah, man. So I'm still just. I think my worry is just with just the gear part. That's all I keep thinking about because that's what makes it so random to me. Just because it's not even a fact of attack. Even if I mean, you can get a gear if the gear synchronizes even with stamina. Um, anything can just
Yeah,
happen. But
yeah.
but
But it
granted, a
seems
lot of
like they're changing.
tips.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'd rather y'all talk because
It,
I'm cutting in and out.
gotcha. It seems like they're trying to control a little bit on how like that situation goes. So like for instance, the new drawn dagger that's coming out, like they changed the teeth on the new bit that's coming out called
Yeah.
Rush. So
There,
like they
there's more teeth and it's closer together.
yeah. So like it pushes up the factor of trying to get that extreme finish more. So like I can't wait to see how they do this with other parts and stuff like that. Oh, but I don't know. I feel like I hope it's not like a type power creep because every part that they're releasing right now looks like it's gonna be like severely recoily, especially with like Viper Tail and then this new Rhino one that's coming out because the the Rhino one looks like they took a picture of a cross and just uploaded some edges onto it.
It's like Excalibur on steroids or something.
Yeah, like it's weirdly like it's like they put two rectangles together and made it a Beyblade.
Oh man, yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
seen it. It's uh shoot, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, the power creep. You said it looks like it might be power creeping a little bit too much.
yeah, like it's like things are gonna get really recoily like a little too quickly, and it's like it kind of was noticeable in like Shark Edge, and then the
Mhm.
way that Leo Claw is like five sided, but it's like still edgy and stuff like that. And then now with Viper Tail and Rhino Horn, um, with their literal edginess, it just seems like you're gonna like try and launch a Beyblade and hope for the best because you don't know what the outcome is gonna be. Like either you're
Yeah,
gonna like self KO yourself just on like a small like hit, or you might be able to send everything that you throw at it flying.
I mean,
Yeah, see, I'm really not liking how like jagged these Beyblades are.
Yeah,
Like stamina and defense will literally never be able to exist if they stay jagged and whatnot like this because they're just gonna have too much recoil. Attack will always just be the thing you want to do, and I get it. I get that the whole like gimmick of it is to go fast and hit things hard, and you want to see things fly out or burst, but you want to be able to play the game the way it should be played. Like that, this Beyblade is supposed to have defense, stamina, attack, balance, not attack, just attack. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. And as y'all are speaking on it, and even just thinking about the whole gear sports, like philosophy or just the premise behind it, maybe that is the direction where they're going. Like, who can build the best attacker or to have that significant amount of recoil and burst resistance. But I mean, I would hope not because yeah, like it's like you said, defense and stamina don't have a way. Um, even just defense, like even if stamina got kicked out because they were tired of that with burst, I can get it, like stamina being the weakest, but
Mm.
it's tough for defense with the way that the recoils are going. And like I said, I've only done one tournament. My kids they play a lot. And I get to see some of that. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, hopefully the balance will come. Or if it's not full balance, like
Well,
some type of meta will be established.
I mean, like Knight Shield would be a really good stamina or defense oriented Beyblade if they would have just actually made it heavy and not made it off balance. If they would have not made it off balance and made it the heaviest Beyblade, it literally would have been like the option to go to for a stamina defense Beyblade to sit in the middle and tank a hit and get a spin finish. Oh wow, it gets a spin finish. It's not going to aim for KOs. So that means if you're playing the stamina game, you have to go through four games of not getting KO'd by an attack type. And
Mm.
that would be
Yeah.
the difference in the game.
Do you think the heaviness
Yeah.
with the stamina would cause it to be like more stamina or defense, more stamina and defense heavy, or do you think with the combination of these jagged edges that are on these attackers that it would still be kind of balanced, or would it just turn to one sided?
I I think because of the rail system, because the rail system allows the attack Beyblades to get that extra oomph of energy to be able to push the Beyblade that has that heavier weight out of the stadium. Like that momentum is going to be enough to push them out. That's why when you play attack and burst or anything, you want to do the flower pattern and angle launch because it's the momentum of it swooping down like that that helps get it to KO things.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, how you feel on it, Sniper? I was asking you how you feel.
I'm in the
Am
same. I'm kind
I
of in
still
the same
breaking up?
pocket. Like no, you're good. I'm kind of in the same pocket. I wish that the more appropriate things would be heavier. Um, because it would give them more of a fighting chance that more than anything. But like how they were just Mike was just saying, like with the way that how these Beyblades that they're making are like more edgy, um, it loses that chance even if it's kind of heavier. Um, because of that, like it's still gonna make that extra effort. Um, to hit things. But like also I've seen it too. Like it's gone to the point where people can even just you don't even have to have like an attack bit on these like attack type Beyblades. Like I've seen it. I've done it in tournaments where you can literally use John Sword on like 360 with like a high needle and just kind of play like the as if it was like a stamina type or whatever. Um, and watch it just literally make things bounce off of it. With all the recoil that comes with the Beyblade, yeah. And I feel like all these other ones are gonna take can possibly take advantage of that same situation where like they don't even have to be like on an attack piece for it to still do major hits.
Yeah. Like and that's the thing. If you made the blades like lighter in weight and if you put them on a stationary bit like ball or something and you launch them in and then you're going against an actual like defense or stamina Beyblade, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to be able, like, because it's not getting that momentum from the rail, it's not going to be able to just recoil them out half the time because they're going to weigh too much. So that means you, like, the attack layers are forced to be an attack type Beyblade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have y'all seen any attack win in the stamina game? If they're on like ball
Yeah,
or anything?
Yeah.
yeah, happens all the time.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
What if that's like a tweak we could do? Or a tweak to the meta that people just might come up with? Well, if they can evade attack.
Yeah,
Like a
like I've
safer
had
route. I don't know
games
if y'all
where playing like that with an attack type on a non-attack driver, like literally win me games because like they would just bounce into me and I would either, burst them or send them out of the pocket. But like I also did see like in that situation where like the recoil be so bad where I knock myself out.
Mhm.
So like that has its disadvantages, but if you know how to play the like your launch and stuff like that, you can kind of steer away from situations like that. Like I've seen launch videos from like JC Makenburst where it like how a lot of people say like depending on which side of the stadium you stand on or where it's like orientated doesn't really like matter, and like I kind of agree to that to some degree, um because like all the X tournaments that I've played in and stuff, they'll ask, do you want to flip a coin or whatever. I'm like, it doesn't really matter to me. I can play on whatever side. um like with enough practice you don't really need it, but like um those situations where you're launching these like attack heavy um Beyblades on these like stamina drivers kind of doesn't really matter where you launch at, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, we most of us now, like the more competitive players that have played, we've all just literally gone. I don't care what side of the stadium I'm on. Like
Right.
when we've played, it has not mattered.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, y'all had. I've only, like I said, I've only done the one tournament, so I had a preferred side, but it makes a whole lot of sense what you're saying, especially if you're running stamina because you're not worried about the ridge. You just want to get into
Right.
the center, and it's
Right.
typically just
Exactly.
go there. So yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Um, is there any news on like any big events coming up or any big things happening? I know we got the DMV going on. Sniper, I know you just got with Beyblade Premiere. I don't know if you have any inside details. But do y'all have is World Cup going to go on again? Are they going to do a Team of Palooza again, or anything going on in the competitive world for the grand
uh,
scheme of Beyblade?
Um, Not on my end. I don't think there's anything going on. Like I would like to make something happen, but like we're still very too fresh into X for I think for anything like that to happen, or at least not from my knowledge. I'm not sure if like Maryland's doing anything outside of like DMB. Um, so yeah, I don't, not from my knowledge.
It's Do you know anything, Mike, outside of DMV? Like, is
No,
you heard
I haven't.
anything from staff
No,
or
I haven't heard
okay?
anything from staff or anything.
All right. Is the big wigs still on a hiatus? Kind of. Have there been any new organizers or anything?
No, nothing that I know of.
I
Okay.
mean, there was me. I was, like I said, I wasn't able to host tournaments, due to
Yeah, yeah. It's all good.
circumstances.
Yeah, it's all
um,
good.
but those were resolved, so I was able to fully redeem myself into having organizer status, so like I can have tournaments again.
That's
Um,
solid.
yeah,
Yeah, I know you had mentioned that earlier. I meant to say, like, congrats to you for that, for getting it back. That is a big thing, especially in your area, because I think y'all only had Mr. Memes.
Yeah, which kind
Yeah,
of like sucks, like because I do want to move, but then like Mr. Memes, like he would have like outside tournaments, and then like I guess I don't know his work schedule like limited to him to like maybe once a month or things like that. So if I do move, he's very welcome to use the store that I was able to partner with. So like we're not playing outside. Uh, so like I hope he would utilize that to have more tournaments, or somebody will, because I know that there's some people who are looking to become an organizer in my area.
Which would
Um,
be great if we'd be able to actually change people that have passed the test and the quiz and the interview into organizers.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was wondering with the hiatus, because I know Fireblader 07. He took his test quite some time ago, but I don't know if he ever got his status changed. I don't think so. I mean, I can't. I think he had his interview, because I'm pretty sure they're good at doing the test, processing the test, and having the interview. It's just the
It's
last
because
button to be pushed.
there's
Yeah,
only two people that can push the button and they're not here.
yeah, yeah. They're not pushing their finger, not pushing on that button. Um, I'm gonna talk to Fireblade. I think I'm gonna see him. I think he's coming to my one on the fourth. I don't think many people signed up for it. Regardless, I know I'm sure I'll see him soon at maybe one of hashtag Fafner's events when I get off. Um, I've been I've been running a lot for work. Our transfer season's next year, and I'm about to get promoted in rank. So I've been running back and forth for a lot of different schools I've had. Like right now, I'm in
Mhm.
school all this week. Um, so I don't even know what weekends I have off in the foreseeable future, except for the ones I know I have. Like the fourth one, I know I definitively have off, but sometimes I've been getting some weekends off that's unexpected just because of my schools and stuff. But yeah, hopefully I'll see him soon, be able to check up on him and see how our NC community is going. Um, yeah, I think there was
Yeah.
on X. Oh, go. Were you about to say something, Sniper?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I hope you guys get that going. I would love to be able to come down to an event,
Yeah,
because I liked it when we went down to North Carolina that one time. That
yeah,
you
yeah,
hosted. That was
yeah. I had a
what?
State Clash.
Yeah, that was a fun tournament.
yeah. Thank y'all. Yeah, yeah. I had a lot of fun. Oh, this is something we haven't spoke on in a minute. But are y'all gonna host Burst again? Do y'all see yourself venturing back into Burst, or is it like strictly X? And then I had one more question. Uh, because hopefully I don't cut out. But has Takara Tomy given any updates as far as like coming to the States, or is it still defined as we're gonna be like what was it 4 months behind, and they're gonna be here?
Yeah, they've answered the
Are they
question.
doing it? Yeah.
They answered it. We don't get X in the States until late summer, early fall of next year.
Okay.
So we will be a year behind.
I mean, like
Yeah, yeah. I
that's
remember you
not
told me.
entirely too bad.
It
Um,
All right, so this is the only thing. I don't care that we're a year behind except for the fact of they're pushing gear sports. If they want to push gear sports and make it a sport type thing, every location needs to have the stuff at the same time, so everyone's on an even playing field.
mm, I feel like it's more like like they might be dealing with like a licensing thing. Like I feel like they having difficult negotiations with Hasbro, because like the way that Takara Tomy and Hasbro has such a divide with Burst, um, for them to be fully on the same page, it doesn't seem likely to me. Um, which is why I think they're gonna take so long with putting it together. Because like back in the day, I don't know who was on Hasbro staff, but they had it, but like we were in the same situation that we would be now. Because with MFB, we were definitely behind on like a lot of things. Um, but they were like Hasbro was on their own creative curve to the point where like they um knew that we were getting stuff, so like they would just change like the colors of things and stuff like that and then still push it out. Um so like if they can get back on that same type of page where we're getting the same things one for one, um I think they'd be able to make bank and then still like satisfy the player's needs.
which would be fine. But like I said, the issue is if they promote gear sports and we're a whole year behind. I mean, think about the people that are buying all the stuff right now from Takara Tomy and like secondary retailers and everything. And we're spending like $25-$30 a Beyblade. And then if they come out here with the exact same Beyblades that we've already been using for the past year, and they start selling them for normal retail prices like $10, how mad are people gonna be that I bought all of these for like $25-$30 for a year for you to now put them out at this price?
Um, I mean,
Like, but also like if they continue with Gear Sports and they bring it out here and they say you can only use what's available in your region.
yeah, there's a lot of ifs in that area. It's kind of gray.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like I if they're actually pushing gear sports, you can't be like this is going to be a sport and have half of the world a year behind the other half of the world. You know what I mean? Like what's going to happen when you have a world's tournament? You have to ban the next year's worth of stuff from half the world from being able to use it. But even so, they know at that point they've learned how things work from these other Beyblades that we've had a year ago. Like they know every in and out of that Beyblade at that point.
Mm,
Where something new just came out and it'll be legal for Worlds, but we haven't had enough time to practice with it.
that's true.
It creates a
Hello.
very unfair advantage. Oh, hi James.
Hey, I missed like half of that conversation. I was cutting in and out on some. Um, I think I got the gist of it. What you were saying, Mike, and as well as what you were saying, Sniper. You were saying that you think because of the legal issues and things like that, and they're just doing what they can. But it may work out. And Mike, you were saying that it may overall just kind of suck because I mean we already getting the stuff that they do come out with, and when we're having like international tournaments, like big tournaments, and other regions may be way far ahead of us. Were you talking on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask because I know you said it before, and I play League of Legends, and like some regions will get different patches out before other ones will. So, with that specific region, when they have like their regional tournaments and things like that, they cannot play the new patch even if it releases a little bit later. They have to keep it in that, and it's the same thing in One Piece. We get our releases a couple of months behind, like as far as like the new sets go, and I'm sure it was the same way with Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we're
when they
we're 3 months behind with Yu-Gi-Oh.
3 months behind. So when there were worlds, if there was a worlds representative from North America, was he playing the most up to date release when he goes to Worlds? He or she goes to Worlds.
So when Worlds for Yu-Gi-Oh happens, whatever whatever sets that are not like globally released that everywhere in the globe has them, those sets are banned. You can't play any card from those sets.
Okay.
And they take the OCG ban list and the TCG ban list and they merge them together since they're vastly different. But see that's also the thing though. Like Yu-Gi-Oh players have come to learn that Worlds doesn't really mean anything anymore. Like, yeah, it's cool to watch to see who's the best country in the world at playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but Worlds and Yu-Gi-Oh players don't mean as much as Nationals, YCS, and those tournaments that are big for the TCG. We don't care about what's going on in the OCG. We just care about the TCG. Which, if they do that with Beyblade, that's fine. But that's what I'm saying. It what's gonna make the players currently now that are playing X really upset is gonna be when they're like, okay, we have now come out with Beyblade X. We're gonna start having regionals and nationals, but you guys are locked to what is only released within your country, like within
Yeah,
your area. Well, that's great because now I'm watching the Beyblades that I already have that I paid $25 to $30 a piece for. I'm looking at them on the shelf for 5, 10, whatever dollars, cheaper than
uh-huh.
what I pay. They will be cheaper than what you paid,
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the upsetting part.
The one thing
yeah,
that I've thought about with how they would get away with doing this is because Takara Tomy is a big company. I know they most likely have a large research and development, sector within them. I think they know that the kids in this, especially for mainly in the United States, they're getting their Takara Tomy product because we have these big wigs now like um Beyblade Premiere, uh Bays and Bricks and things like that. I think they know that we're getting their product, so they're not entirely too, you know, in a rush for us to all be all together because of that factor.
Right.
And Beyblade Premiere has made it very well known that hey, we are here in the United States. And even now, Beyblade Premiere, just recently they ship internationally now, so almost no matter where you are, um, you can most likely buy it from Beyblade Premiere. So I think with that knowledge, that they know that we're getting their product.
Right. Like they may know that we're getting their product, but what's going to happen to their sales if they come out a year later and no one is buying them for that first year because we
yeah.
already have them?
That's very
That's what
true.
happened with that's what happened with Pro Series. I don't know if y'all spoke on that already, but
Yeah.
that's what Pro Series was. I won't say it was marked up. I feel like the price was a little reasonable, even though it was around $20. But if you're a parent and you're comparing, okay, I got one Beyblade that's I can get for like $10, and it comes with a little launcher, and then I have this other Beyblade that's saying Pro Series for $20. So I'm paying, plus tax 25 bucks. This is a Christmas gift. I'm just getting it for my kid. Their kid's not competitive. They're not gonna care about the Pro Series Beyblades like that. And if they are competitive, they're still not gonna care about the Pro Series Beyblade because they're gonna get to Cartoni. And they've already had that release because I mean they just started, like Super King was the last release of it. Um,
Yeah. They
or,
didn't
or
even give
or
us all of the Super King Beyblades either.
yeah, so it's like those things are like tough, and I can fully understand and see that because it's like I think if it's the only benefit is or the disadvantage is going to hurt us, competitive scene now. But for the kids getting into Beyblade, and if X was to release in the stores and it was the Karatomi brand or like just initial and they're getting it, it's going to be great and fun for them. It's going to suck for us because we've already have these Beyblades, probably spend a little bit more money to get them. We're going to have to go back into a stale meta because let's say in a year from now, X actually does have a meta and it actually is competitive. But then to do the official Takara Tomy tournaments, or if Hasbro's doing something, you have to play just what's released here, and then you're starting back over again with the stale meta, and then you got to wait almost however long it takes for us to really get a meta before things kick off. But by then, depending if we're getting some of the newer releases, it's going to be a big divide. It's pretty much going to be um, what's the WBO players doing their thing like it is now, and then for the official Takara Tomy or Hasbro, if they do something, they'll be doing their thing, but they'll be way behind us. Um, and just depending if you want to play it or not.
But see, the big thing I realized come to know, um, with them is that we as WBO players are a different sector of Beyblade. Um, Majority of us are, I want to say, with age, I want to say maybe like 12 or 13 being the youngest and up, being in like a competitive community. Like we know these things, and have special knowledge to it because like we are heavily competitive with it. But we also have to remember that Beyblade is a kid's game. Like it's a kid's toy that was made for kids. Um, so with them having like a global release and say coming back into toy stores, um, especially with Toys R Us reopening like a lot of stores, like I know like we've had one in Jersey and you've been to the one up here, in the American Dream Mall. Um, we're gonna have that big push again where kids are now gonna be able to go to like Toys R Us and stuff and go get X Beyblades, and play with them and play with their friends, and then hope that they somehow find some knowledge of the WBO existing or whatever. Like I know I did because like when I joined Beyblade, I joined because I knew Beyblade was Beyblade, and I went to the toy store and was like, I'm gonna buy all these Beyblades, whatever, and I'm gonna play with my friends, and then
Yeah,
walked into the door that the WBO existed, and it brought up a whole new thing. So like I feel like we're still gonna like their sales aren't gonna be too bad because there's still kids who don't know what Beyblades is, or they'll have like their like older brothers who play Beyblades and stuff like that, and see them like, oh, I'm gonna go buy these for my brother, or I'm gonna buy these for my son because I remember when I played Beyblades back in the day. Maybe we can play Beyblades together. So like, I feel like they're still gonna have some type of push, but it's not gonna be as well as us knowing that Takara Tomy exists and we can buy Beyblades from Japan. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I think though, I think like even when I think on that scale, it could still be a great marketing opportunity for Takara Tomy and or Hasbro, because the WBO is, I won't say it's super big on the competitive scene, but it is fairly well known. But Takara Tomy pushing with commercials, or Hasbro pushing for commercials, like we'll just say right now, if Hasbro or Takara Tomy decided to do a burst tournament right now, it would have a way bigger turnout than anything that the WBO will possibly be able to do right now.
Right.
People may agree or disagree, but when I think about that and what you just said, yeah, if they are pushing it in toy stores and parents are childhood nostalgia, getting it for their kids and this and that, the divide it may be even greater divide with WBO versus um Takara Tomy or whatever, because we're still gonna be stuck, be like, hey, this stuff is old and this and that. But for everyone else getting into it, they're not gonna care about that. They're not gonna
Right.
worry about buying anything um that's twice the price of what they can get inside of the store. They're gonna go into the store. If they need a super rare or hard part to find, then they may go online and get what they need. But they can only use these official things in the Takara Tomy tournament, and that may be more enticing to them. Like I said, it may suck for us because we're like, man, we want to compete for that, but we already know how that meta is, or lack of meta is. But the prizing, the status of being like, hey, I am the best and I'm recognized on Takara Tomy's Beyblade page and things like that, like that would matter a little bit more, because right now we're playing for the love of the game. There's no rank is not a thing. We keep bringing that up. Everyone playing now, we're playing for the love of the game. We're not thinking about rank at all. Well, we can't, regardless. But uh, yeah, that does make a whole lot of
Right.
sense. Like a whole
Yeah,
lot of
right.
sense.
That's why I was saying like we play in the community knowing that ranked is ranked, but there's still a large, sector of Beyblade where people are just buying it just to play and be fun with it. And that's why I think there's still like with us being a year out, I still think that they're gonna do perfectly fine because people are still gonna buy Beyblades just for the fact to say Beyblades. Like I see so many TikToks of people like playing in like big old trash can lids or big old pots,
Yeah,
they're like,
rocks
oh yeah,
like that.
I remember Beyblade, yo, look at this. This is so cool. They're playing, like I've seen ones where like these dudes were playing at like a subway stop in New York City. Like it was like on some underground Beyblade type stuff. They're like, yeah, man, I remember when I played with these. These are so different now, whatever. And then, people get into that nostalgia and then they still end up going out and buy Beyblades and stuff just to play it and meme a lot of times, especially with these TikToks, bro. So like I think they're gonna be fine, but just for us on our end because we know what competitive Beyblade is, it's gonna suck for us. Like you just said, yeah, it's gonna suck for us, but you know, Takara Tomy and or Hasbro are still gonna be in their pockets, getting all the money from it because people are still gonna go out and buy Beyblades, regardless of the fact that we are a competitive community and we know what competitive Beyblade is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm going to go into a slight other territory real quick,
Quick
and
tangent.
that is the fact that everything would probably actually just end up being okay with that if the WBO can get their website fixed. Because
That's
the thing is if you look at Beyblade tournaments, right? Ranked tournaments are always have a higher attendance than unranked.
That's
Always.
true.
They always do. Meaning the average player wants to play competitively. They don't want to just play to play.
Yeah,
So if that is the case, the issue you run into is at the moment Takara Tomy actually starts doing stuff and they're like, oh, here is, our, regional and national scene. People playing on the WBO, it's going to drop significantly.
uh-huh.
Like you Sniper, you guys played during the era where like actually trying to play um was hard because you guys just couldn't get enough people to join and play. It would turn into that again because people would just be like, why am I going to go play there where I can go play at these regionals and locals and stuff and win prizes? Like, like luckily right now, my current store that I'm hosting this stuff at, they give store credit, but they like if Takara Tomy goes, hey, we're going to start doing this stuff through through card shops and stuff to be able for you guys to get play and everything. That's just what's going to happen. It'll be like Yu-Gi-Oh in a card shop. They support the card shop so they can sell product. The card shop buys product from Takara Tomy directly, and
right.
that's what'll happen. So the WBO will come into having a big problem at that point.
Yeah. I Did you have anything on that, Sniper?
No, I agree. I definitely think that if they don't get their side up, it would obviously become obsolete. Um, because of the fact that just like what Mike said, they'd be able to do everything under their own umbrella. Um, which kind of sucks because I wouldn't be into Beyblade as much as I am now without the WBO and stuff like that, and to see it go would kind of suck. Because like I've met a lot of great people along the way. Um,
Hi.
because of that.
Yeah. I'm I'm not gonna lie, and I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. I think even if WBO did get their side up, they cannot compete with
Oh, without a
uh
doubt.
yeah, with Takara Tomy as far as like what they'll be able to do. Especially on the highly competitive side. What the future that I hope for the WBO isn't necessarily the competition or being able to have tournaments or have the ranking system. Um, it is more so just for a community, like the big, like what it is now. The big community on Discord, having the wiki, actual place that you can talk with your local community and national community or international community about Beyblade. Because Takara told me, I mean, I highly doubt they have a Discord server or any websites where like forum where people could just chat up there. But the WBO has offered that and will offer that. They had the ranking system and place you could post tournaments and share it. But if the competitive side went away, as far as you being able to compete via the WBO or through them, um, that's fine. You know, Takara told me like they can have it, but as long as we have the community still there, like to look at some of those old winning combo threads or to post some things for people just getting into Beyblade, um, and having that site for that because I've been on like I have the we have the a One Piece site and a Yu-Gi-Oh site. Um, I've seen those when I was looking at some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and you have some ranking and you have some knowledge, but a lot of times you have to either looking up a YouTube video or you're hoping you can find something on Reddit that help you kind of build your deck or to find out what is good or really understanding like what the game is about. But the WB already has that. Wiki isn't kept up as much as it used to be. I can see that now. Um, but if it grows and we have the opportunity to do so, that's what I would like for the WBO to become, just a community of communication for Beyblade. And honestly, if TT does come over here and they have run the tournaments, that's probably what it will become. I'm not completely sure, and I hope it's not really a Debbie Downer type of thing because it's good for competitors, and it might be good for the WBO too because I know some of the older staff it is hard and tough to pay money to get the site up and running. It's hard to tough to try to get all these organizers organized when they are uh, staff has their own lives too, you know. Versus TT, this is their business, so it's someone's job to make sure that the tournament is running well. They're getting paid
Right.
for that.
And
So
I think like the way that the WBO is going down this rabbit hole is like I feel like they're not trying to do anything better with that. So like I feel like with Takara Tomy coming in and possibly doing their own thing, that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and then they just be like, all right, it's out of our hands now. Um, which I don't hope was gonna happen for the WBO, but I feel like that's a strong possibility of happening.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's one of my big takeaways. Like the WBO, like even now, like I'll admit it, I don't play Beyblade like I used to. Um, I'm I don't play Beyblade like I used to. I want to get. I mean, I'm still gonna have the X tournament and do those things, but the biggest thing that keeps me in is the community. You know, like I got love for my locals. I mean, y'all. I mean, Mike. I became real good friends with Mike, and I remember our first email. I have it. You know, it was during COVID.
Yeah.
He wanted to do something to connect with his son, and that was back when I had a store, and I was chatting it up with him about I can't remember specifically, but it was the Beyblades. Or he was just getting into it, and now like three, damn near 4 years later, like 3.5 years later, you know, we have this show. Um, I met Sniper, you know, Jared, so many people, the whole NC community, and that is what's fun. It's like what we talked about when the show, when we first hopped up here, um,
Yeah.
having your locals and your local community. And oh man, I'm riding down the street. This dude's got on the fourth Hokage jacket. That is
Ha.
sweet. Oh man, that was dope. If I want to, oh yeah, yeah, that was sweet. Um, but yeah, just like a community to nerd out with. Um, and that's if I could take away anything, that's something that's special. That's special to me, and I am appreciative for the WBO for that in the least. Because I've said this before, if I did not find the WBO, my passion for Beyblade probably would have died out that first Christmas
One
when I played
thousand
with my
percent,
kids.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah, yeah. Because we were playing and I was having fun, but when I found out there was a competitive scene that drew me in, and then once I found out that there was like once I started making friends within the community, I stayed. So
Yeah. It definitely the WBO has definitely helped people connect, and that's like the slogan of the WBO of "Let's play Beyblade together." That's the reality of it. Like, and I think if the goal of the website is for everyone to play Beyblade together, then it needs to be about connecting people, not worrying about a ranking system.
Yeah, yeah. I think
You
I'm
know, I
I'm
think
heavier on that
I think I think one of the biggest issues in general is just the fact that the WBO itself is trying super hard to do everything. Like they want to have something for competitive players, they want to have something for casual players, they want to listen to everybody's opinions. And I think that's why the WBO is just falling apart because you try to please one person, six more people riot. You tried to, please those six people, eight more people then riot. You know, where who do you please and who don't you please?
now. Yeah, that's very tough. This is like a side note, but I found that I played a game on my phone. It was called Heroes Charge, I think. But I was like I had a guild and I was the leader, and I was competitive, but I also like really loved the community. Like we would get up there, talk about the game, um, joke and things like that. But I found that some people in my guild like were super competitive, like how I was, and then some people were just casually playing, and the super competitive players were getting upset um, at the casual players because they weren't contributing as much to the guild and things like that. And I ran into the issue of trying to please both sides, and I couldn't, which
Mm.
ultimately ended up to the guild ended up having to split up from players that because the highly competitive players like they were investing money into the game and they were playing like every day. So they wanted to have some reward for that, because they would do like guild tournaments and things like that to where you'd be battling. That's kind of like when the game like fully changed. And
Mm.
from that experience, I was like, you cannot please the masses. Like personalities, like you have to let people kind of be who they are, and you also have to find out who you are. It may be a restructure of the WBO's identity. They have to find out, like, hey, do we want to be a competitive organization for Beyblade, or do we want to be a community where people can come, gain knowledge, um, talk, just hang out and things like that. And if we structured around one of the two, because it's hard to do both. We can't do both. That's why we have a plethora of rule books right now. Um, to the point that the rule books don't even mean anything, kind of, because you got rank clauses. Uh, so it's tough. But it's gonna have to be a restructure and finding out the WBO's identity. I think TSO had said that a while back. WBO's have an identity crisis, and
Yeah.
that might be, I don't know, maybe it's coming to the light to me right now as well.
Yeah, no, that I mean, and we've talked about it 1,000 times. Like I don't know how many times I need to point it out. And I mean, obviously they don't listen to the podcast because if they did, then they would have tried to have done something by now because we would have made them feel like complete shit. And it's just the two directors of the WBO aren't doing anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I mean, if
I don't know if they don't listen to it, but I'm sure it's been
um
talked about. But I think that their mind is on something else completely. Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. I think the biggest. Yeah, my bad. I kind of cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's just it. Like we've talked about it enough times that at this point I'm 100% sure they don't even listen to our podcast because they by now they would have been like, okay, they're saying it on the podcast. There's enough people that listen to the podcast. We need to do something. Or I mean, if they're listening to it and they're just completely ignoring it, then they're just shit people. Like I hate to use these words, but they are at that point. If that's what's going on, if that's what they're doing, then they obviously don't care about the WBO, and I would just say everybody abandon ship now.
Yeah.
Like
I would feel like, or I do feel like,
my man
yeah,
Shindog's
I
got
was,
money. Shindog, let's make a new website. Let's go, buddy.
yeah, Shin Dog's holding it down. He's always He's always held it down. I think for the executives, I don't know. I can't speak on too much. I know we all have personal lives, but I know how I felt. Like even a word or something here and there, but to go on a complete like hiatus, isn't fair if you have the community like standing behind and waiting on something, and then nothing is coming. And even if it was like 1 month, 2 months, but it's been like half a year. You know what I'm saying? And even before that half a year, it was like 3 months here, 4 months there, and then I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going on, so that's why it's like it's pretty heavy. And it's thankful for everything that it was, because without them, we wouldn't have this here. But at the same time, it's kind of like pass off the reins for someone else to take it into the future, or
Yeah.
Right.
you
Right.
know,
That's definitely I could see that was a big attributing factor to the success of Beyblade and how far it's gone is literally because of the WVO.
yeah,
Because without them kids and stuff, and us people, at our age going with nostalgia, um, knowing that we buy Beyblades from Japan and stuff like that, or like back when in MFB days where you could just go to literally any Toys R Us and pick up Storm Pegasus or whatever,
mhm,
um, there would be no conversation right now.
Yeah.
Like we would not be talking about this, because it would have never gone as far as it did. So like for the WBO to be gone, I don't think it's gonna be a thing. I hope that we continue it as like a community of like how you said of communication and stuff like that. And I would be definitely fine with that. And then letting Takara Tomy do everything on their business side.
yeah,
Um, I'd be okay with that. I'd be
yeah.
100% okay with that.
I highly doubt that the WBO will be gone for good. I think if anything, the tournaments may slow down on the WBO side if TT comes. But I mean, the Discord server is popping. The forums.
Right.
Like I said, I haven't been up there in a while. So I know from when I started back in 2019, 2020, there was a lot more communication than there has been in recent years. I think that's the way it's gonna be, but I think that's also just because of forums. Like
Hmm.
technology has changed.
Right.
But as far as Discord goes, like those kids are like they're up there. Actually, I haven't been in there. Are they still in there talking heavy, Mike?
I
Yeah,
don't.
they're.
I don't know. I
I,
don't
Oh,
get
you
it.
haven't.
I mean, I have, especially inside Baby Premiere's Discord, since
Mhm.
I'm moderating it now. The kids are talking nonstop all day long about Beyblade and things of
Yeah,
that and things like
yeah,
that. So, like, I'm 100% grateful that Discord exists because, like you said, that's still going to be around, and I think that's going to be the biggest factor of communication. Is because of things like Discord and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. So I know people are gonna chat it up. People are still gonna talk, and communities are still gonna be around. Cartoni may take it to another level, and everything just might turn out to just be locals, like card shops. Like who knows? These card shops might have dealings or licensings from Takara Tomy to be able to host their tournaments and official tournaments and things like that.
Right.
And we could just hop up on. It could be someone like Mike or like me or like you, Sniper, and we're going in and we're like, hey, yeah, I've been playing Beyblade for the last 4 years, or in your case, like last 10 years or whatever. And there's also like this Discord. If you want to find out a little bit of the history of it, or if you want to throw your opinions in there, like be warned, you will get some kids that will disagree with you for the sake of disagreeing with you. But if you want a community that to chat with, WBO is one avenue that you can take.
Right.
So, but that's pretty hype. Did y'all have any more on that or any more topics? I wanted to dive a little bit. I wanted to ask you about Lorcana a little bit before we hop off of here. Um,
Um, I just had one thing to say. Since it made me laugh and think about the possible situation of when they might bring X over to the United States. Is when you said that you saw the guy walking down the street in the Hokage,
oh yeah,
the
yeah,
Hokage
yeah,
drip. We just had New York Comic Con this past weekend up here. I could very much see them doing it late next year and then
Hmm.
having a big expo at New York Comic Con.
They could. They
I
could.
could definitely see that being the reason why they took the whole year round, because I don't think they might have been ready enough to do it this year.
Hmm.
So for them to be able to do it next year, late in the year, especially at like either they could even do it earlier in the year at San Diego Comic Con, but I feel like New York
Hmm.
Comic Con might be better. They could definitely do it there, and then that be their big expo of them bringing it back. Because for them in Japan to have a whole um a whole building for that's dedicated to Beyblade,
Yeah.
I could definitely see them having a big main stage, introducing Beyblade X, um, into into the United States, and
Yeah.
that would be a big push, especially seeing it there, and then like having so many people that most likely have played Beyblade all in one spot. Oh my God, that would
Yeah.
be ginormous for them.
It's yeah. Yeah. It's definitely something that could be hype. It's definitely something that's popping. I know, like what you said earlier about your buddy Kevin. Like he was like
Yeah.
he had been coming for a while, and then he finally like just bought it and then just played. And even though he's like he didn't know if fun was the word, it was still intense. And I know at the convention that I went to, there were so many eyes that came to watch. I was getting invited to come to other places to host tournaments and things like that from people that knew nothing about Beyblade. But they were all hype about it because they could see the community and the excitement from kids and adults. And yeah, I agree with you, Sniper. Like to get it on that scale, especially catering to, oh, here in the United States on the way that we do things. And plus, it's like I feel like the gaming lifestyle is so heavy right now because our generation, I people may agree or disagree, but our generation is I feel like the gaming generation. We had the Nintendos, Super Nintendos, like yeah, the Atari is like that's the old school thing. When it came to like, I'm gonna say real gaming. Some old school person could be mad at me or this and that and be like, no, Atari is where it's at. Like I'm playing Pong all day. But when it comes to like Super Nintendo, Mario, Sonic, PlayStation One, all that, the original Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, the original Beyblade, that was our generation. And now we're the adults and we understand that lifestyle, We're the ones going to these Comic Cons. Not the ones just going, we're the ones hosting it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right,
we could definitely promote it and keep it going and have it popping. It's not like, oh, what's this? Like probably if I was a kid with my mom or whatever, we were riding around, saw some dude in a fourth Hokage jacket, be like, oh, he's crazy. What's wrong with him? This and that. But like me, I'm like, damn, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I see all my kids like, yo, that's what's up. Like I love to see that. But yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, there is some hope for it. Some definite hope for it.
right. No, I definitely know what you mean. That's like over the past weekend at Comic Con, they announced the full collaboration between Demon Slayer and Crocs. So like they're releasing four pairs, one for Tanjiro, one for Nezuko, one for Inosuke and Zenitsu. Um
Oh, that's dope.
they like to see that out in public. That's gonna be like it's gonna be a big push for the brand, um to see that stuff out in the public. Like if I went this past weekend with my X Stadium and decided like to go stand in like one part of like the Comic Con floor, I'm gonna have like 100 people be looking like, "Yo, I remember
Yeah,
Beyblades, blah blah blah." Like
yeah,
it's gonna be a big push. So like I hope that that's the route that they're gonna go with them being like a year behind. Is to push for a big American presence.
Yeah.
Um, um, for them to fully display, that Beyblade is back again after a year of hiatus or whatever.
yeah, yeah. 1,000%. I definitely agree with that, and I think it'll be something beautiful. I'm ready. I'm so ready to go to this convention next year, and um, I don't know, just that lifestyle. I think a lot of us know it and understanding. Yeah, it is what you're saying because I saw that so many times where people will be like, Oh dang, yeah, yeah, I remember that. Like, oh, can I play or this and that? It's like, well, do you remember this one and like what's going on? And because they were either playing with plastics or metal fight, and I'm like, dude,
Right,
we're so far
right.
beyond that right now. But I could bring you up to speed on where it's at. Um,
Exactly. That's what it
yeah,
was like when I got with the store that I'm playing at. It's called Side Scrollers. They were like, "Yeah, I remember Beyblade," and I'm like, it was literally me having a history lesson with the guy
yeah,
that owned the store. I was like, "Well, we had this generation, then this generation. You probably remember this one because that was like the most recent one. But then here we are now, um, literally 4.5 generations ago. Like, cause like they're celebrating, I think their 25th anniversary in Beyblade now.
Yup,
Yeah,
25th.
yeah. So like,
yeah,
it's a literal history lesson that I have to go through sometimes with some people. So like,
yeah.
it's fun talking about it, and that's the biggest thing is just talking about it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. 1000%, 1000%. Yeah, man, that's just this is getting me hyped. Yeah, seeing Buddy on the side of the road. I gotta get those Nezuko Crocs for my daughter. She loves Nezuko. She's the biggest.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be tough.
There's been people scalping this weekend already. Like I seen a pair of the no skates for like 350, and
Oh
I'm
my
just like,
goodness.
no way.
Yeah, it's like it that sucks because it's like ridiculous. But at the same time, you know how heavy this anime and nerd life is. Like I know I meet like some kids now, and they're talking about like anime and like, oh yeah, like I like they'll be kind of snobby with it, like, oh yeah, I've been watching it. I'm not on the wave and this and that. And I'll be like, cool, I'll be like, dude, I was watching anime before your parents more than likely even knew each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't get into it that deep. I'll be like, yeah, I watch what I watch, But it
Right.
is hype to see that the anime community is just blown up like tremendously. Like it used to be this taboo thing, like, oh, you're a nerd, you're a geek, you watch hentai, whatever. Sorry, listeners,
And
don't Google that. But
and sorry.
but but now it's like
Sorry, children.
it's what's hot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's what's hot, and it's like you have it's all over TikTok, all over all social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that you can look up. So, and it's the anime. The anime is out for X, right?
Yeah, it just came out, the first
Yeah.
episode.
It did.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Is it in English or is it only in Japanese?
Only Japanese.
Yeah, I gotta
Okay.
find the English subtitle somewhere.
You know what? I didn't even think about that because the biggest marketer is what even got me into it, or my kids into it, was Netflix. Seeing it on
Mm,
Netflix, and if the licensing for it, because that's any anime, it's gonna be produced. Like we'll get like One Piece and stuff like that, but that's One Piece. I mean, let's be real. That show's like hype as hell. But like for Beyblade, it's gonna take some time. They're gonna dub it, and then once either Netflix or whoever gets the rights to it, that's going to be the advertisement. That's what's going to make the kids want to play, and that's when
mm-hmm.
they should release it out into the stores, and that'll be the greatest amount of sales, because that's exactly what happened to us. My kids saw Metal Fight on Netflix. I was looking up a Storm Pegasus, who was already in the burst era, so I got Heaven Pegasus. They were still hype about it, but the same thing. Yeah, maybe they got a bigger plan. Maybe it is what you was talking about, Sniper.
Yeah, I can.
Conventions, anime, because the anime is what does it. The anime is really what does it, and that'll sell it, and people get hype on it. So,
I think definitely the anime might do a big push because for the previous seasons like Metal Fight, I know that Netflix has I think the rights to that. Um, but for like the live show that was going on, it's technically under Disney.
oh,
Because it aired on when Metal Fight no when Burst first yeah when Burst first came out, it was under the Disney XD platform.
Yeah.
Um, so I think yeah even with that I think that they could push it back again because I always saw commercials and stuff for Disney XD and it would involve the Beyblade and stuff, which kind of got me into watching and got into Burst because I think yeah that was when I was living in Maryland at the time when the Burst anime first came out for Hasbro or whatever.
mhm.
Um, And it was kind of funny because like I already knew Takara and all that other stuff, and to hear go Valtryek or whatever. Like it made me it literally made me giggle on the inside. I'm like, that's not what
Yeah,
I call it.
yeah,
But to
yeah,
see
yeah.
but to see it, they pushed yeah. If it gets back under Disney, I think they're gonna do very well with it.
Mm,
Because Disney and their advertisement is very very prominent.
they
Um
are.
with what they do, even like for like Star Wars and stuff like that. But Star Wars is Star Wars, so it's always gonna be
Yeah,
big.
Star Wars.
But
Star
but yeah, the marketing's gonna be there. I think it's definitely gonna be there. It's just that I think they're taking their time and making sure that they get all the kinks out because America is America and we are difficult in some things.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. That,
I think it's all gonna roll out well.
yeah, I think so too. I agree, and I'm sorry to cut this off. I just looked at the time, and also my phone is about to die. So did y'all have any other like big pressing topics or big things or shout outs you want to give real
Mm,
quick before we cut off?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Mike, you good too?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, much love. Thank you again for hopping up here, Sniper. Just hit traffic.
Not a
Man,
problem.
it sucks. Uh, but
Nice to finally
yeah,
get
yeah,
part 2 out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Get part two out. Thank y'all so much for listening. I apologize for any audio quality. I'm gonna go back and try to edit the best I can. But thanks for hopping up here. Yeah, I think we had a good discussion, man. Talk about the promotion, future of the WBO, at least what we hope for it.
Yeah.
And then can y'all hear that?
Yeah, we heard it.
Okay.
Did Craig hear it?
Um,
Craig, you my
Craig,
man.
Craig, Craig probably heard it. Yeah, I'm definitely stuck in traffic right now. But regardless, thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Um, keep getting out there, Beyblading hard, growing your local communities, being a part of the community. Still, and we spoke on that. Like that's one of the biggest things in this nerd life, man. It's just one thing that I've gained, especially being a big introvert. Just having some friends that I can also nerd out with, and it's so heavy and fun now. Um, but yeah, without further ado, y'all, thank y'all for listening. Thank you, Mike, for hopping up here. Thank you, Sniper, as well, and everyone. Take care.
Yep.
See ya.